Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to my Zodiac Signs as Students series. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Cancer student whilst talking about 3 subjects that I personally think can be associated with the sign of Cancer. Now this video may resonate with you if you have any of your personal planets within the sign of Cancer, but it is more specifically directed towards those of you who have your Mercury within the sign of Cancer, along with the sign of Cancer ruling your 3rd house as well. Even if you're not a student anymore, if you're not at school anymore, I definitely still recommend watching this video because these things can also play out within your everyday life. Now, before we do get started, if you would like to know more information all about the sign of Gemini, along with the Mercury signs, Mercury houses, Gemini houses, and also the 3rd house within your natal birth chart, then I have created a Gemini season / Gemini archetype ebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today. Okay, so with all those introductions out of the way, Mercury in Cancer / Cancer ruling the 3rd house, let's do this. So the first subject that I chose for you, Cancer, is history, because when it comes to the subject of history, Cancer, you seem to have a knack for it, because history is about the past, and the sign of Cancer can be a mastermind when it comes to remembering the past or learning about the past, especially if that past or history is associated with your ancestry or your family tree. You might actually possess a sheer curiosity towards learning about how your external family or culture or heritage came to be, Cancer. But truly, Cancer, you may have this ability of being able to remember really important dates and events, but it's even those past events and dates that you can remember vividly. So it may be that a certain scene just plays out in your mind of a past experience that just seems so real to you. So when it comes to actually studying history, you might be so good at understanding how people have existed, how people have acted throughout time, how people have really thought in the context of the past, especially seeing as you can be highly empathetic and thoughtful as well, Cancer. So you can actually show empathy and provide your imaginative insight towards the likes of history. So towards those people that you're learning about who have come before us, you may be so good at just providing your own insights towards those people, towards those events. You might be very good at getting into the mindset of those people as well. So what you can do is you can reflect critically upon the nature of the information that you're taking in within history class, whilst feeling really deeply towards what actually took place. I mean, history is a lot about people. So how we as people, how we've lived, and also how we've died, and how we as people have got to where we are today. So there can be something quite powerful about this. There can be something quite profound about this, you know? So to think that we are all on this continuous timeline, playing in a cycle from birth until death, and this is quite interesting because I actually recently discovered that Cancer is a sign really associated with these sort of with closure. So looking at the 4th house within astrology, there can be a lot of closure associated with the past, so where you make peace with the past, or whenever you're able to move into a new cycle, create a new cycle for yourself. And Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is all about cycles. So there's this very cyclical process that goes with Cancer energy. And so when it comes to history, you may be very good at seeing how those cycles have sort of evolved over time and what patterns have been brought to light through those cycles. You may just have this appreciation, or you may show appreciation towards culture and towards heritage, or towards the attitudes of society that have happened over time, Cancer. And so you can also appreciate the complexity and the diversity of the situations of the past through the subject of history. You're able to read and use text empathetically, whilst also being able to express what you're actually reading with clarity and with fluency. And you might also possess this curiosity towards engaging in discussions, you know, that are political, that are social, that are economical. You may be interested in finding connections between local communities and national communities and global communities. Plus, you may also be interested in understanding intersections of gender, race, and class, for example. Ultimately, Cancer, history is a subject that can spark your interest, and so history might be highly relevant to you because, after all, it's about where we have come from, it's about our roots, it's about our heritage, and Cancer, you are a sign that is associated with these very things. Now, some things to really learn here, I would say, well, there can be a tendency of you, Cancer, becoming emotionally involved towards what you're learning, resulting in possible emotional bias, which can block or limit your mindset sometimes. So, for example, if you are having a debate with someone in history class with other students, you might become overwhelmed by your own personal opinion, and you also might become slightly irrational without even realizing it. So with that in mind, I would suggest really learning to question and listen to others in a more objective way, Cancer. See, you might get tangled up in your own words or upon how you explain your point or your argument, and this might happen as a result of you getting personally involved in the situation itself. So it would be a good idea for you to detach yourself from time to time and just to learn to remain calm in your position. And so this can help you in the long run because you're not letting your emotions become too attached to the information that you're learning. The second subject that I chose for you, Cancer, is music. Yeah, because music is a subject that might be right up your street. Why? Well, because it's a way for you to really use your imagination and your creative thinking. It's also a way to make you feel moved emotionally. See, the thing about music is that you can play any melody or any symphony, but yet that same melody or symphony can be subjective towards those who are listening. And so you might be able to create a song feeling a certain way, but yet that same song can bring out a different feeling or a different emotion in somebody else. But not only are you able to form a personal connection with music that you're creating, but you may also be very good at understanding the beat, the rhythm, the scales, the timing. You can identify the patterns in the cycle, so going back to the cycle, how you're a cyclical sign. You're also able to divide and create fractions through the likes of music as well. Plus, music may be a really great way for you to enhance your own memory skills as well, Cancer. Both your short-term memory and your long-term memory, and you are known for having a pretty good memory, Cancer. You can even recite melodies and songs from your memory and just remember them until the day that you die, Cancer. Music can just bring you so much comfort and so much security in this way. And you also might actually be the type of Cancer who knows how to play an instrument. Maybe you sing, or maybe you think about wanting to play an instrument, or at least you show appreciation towards those who do play instruments. So in this way, you may be that type of Cancer who really enjoys attending different music events and different gigs. Your music taste may also be very varied in this way, and you may also go in and out of different musical moods and phases. So naturally, with that, you might be great at modulation, which is the act of shifting keys. So this skill in itself represents the ever-changing mood of the composer. So shifting from one key to another as a way to represent how the composer's mood changes from sad to happy to angry to scared. Though even if you're not a composer yourself, Cancer, you may be great at being able to identify the shifts in the moods through the music that you're listening to quite well. This might even result in you being able to evaluate the music wonderfully too, where you're able to identify the different musical elements, such as the pitch and the tone and the rhythm and the chords. You just might possess a very good ear, and you're also known for being a keen listener, Cancer. Now, some things to learn here though, Cancer, is that there can be a tendency of you falling to pieces whenever you're placed into an audience situation. So in terms of performing a musical composition or a piece in front of others, you might just want to run away. You just might want to keep yourself locked inside of your shell and never come out, because it's just much too threatening to go out there and play in front of other people because of how strong your emotions can feel towards their reactions and responses. Now, the same can be applied here when it comes to hosting a certain meeting, or when it comes to a speech that you're giving to an audience. And this is the thing, because you can be highly receptive towards the influences within your immediate environment. So yes, you can adapt very well to the changes of the environment and the moods of other people, but your mind can also start to fluctuate depending on how you're feeling or what you're thinking about due to how you're feeling. So say for example, you are standing up in front of an audience and you're about to sing or play an instrument. If you walk into that room and you're feeling all the feels, right? If you pick up on a feeling or pick up on something that doesn't feel right, it might feel as if it's just taking over and then you can't think straight. So this is about you learning to support and nurture yourself within these situations. You could even use the emotions that you are picking up from the immediate environment as a way to actually sway the audience, as a way to move the audience through your composition or through the speech that you're giving, if that's what you're doing. And the final subject that I chose for you, Cancer, is home economics. Now, according to Wikipedia, home economics is a field of study that deals with the relationship between individuals, families, communities, and the environment in which they live. And in modern times, home economics teaches both men and women important life skills such as cooking, sewing, and finances. Different terms also have been used for home economics, such as family and consumer studies, and so this is quite fitting. This is why I chose this subject, because you are the sign that is associated with all of these things. You are associated with home and with a good meal. Home economics is one of those subjects, Cancer, that can enhance your knowledge of your own well-being, where you're able to investigate the nutritional requirements of a particular stage of the life cycle. So talking about cycles, coming into these different stages of life through these different cycles that you go through, home economics is a great way to assess the nutritional requirements needed for each of those cycles, which I think is very fitting towards your sign. Furthermore, students participate in evaluating certain dishes within home economics, where they prepare certain meals, and so they're able to actually evaluate each other's dishes and see how they are you know, how they're beneficial, what's positive about them, how do they assess them and analyze them in a constructive way. And by analyzing them in a constructive way, the students then are able to take those skills, to take what they've learned in home economics and into their home life. So home economics can be a great way to learn and discover new recipes to make for your loved ones, for your family. You might just enjoy the whole process of cooking, Cancer, especially if it is to cook for your family or for your loved ones or for the people that are guests at your home. You may be that type of Cancer who just puts so much love into whatever it is that you're making for the ones that are attending an event at your home, for example. Home economics as well, Cancer, is also a great way to get you discussing and debating. So for example, you can discuss family relationships and dynamics and the role of communication that's required in order to strengthen relationships. And so we notice this through the sign of Cancer, that family relationships are really assessed because it is to do with the connection, the bond between family members, the upbringing. Home economics as well is also a good way for you to develop your numerical skills. Okay, so looking at the finances, so for example, weighing, measuring ingredients, budgeting your finances, room planning, all these different things that actually, when you look at the day-to-day life, all these things are required in order to sort of set up your home or set up your foundation. Plus, home economics is also a subject by which you hold yourself accountable. So what resources are available to you? Are those resources a need or a want or even a desire? And how do those resources fit in with the family and home dynamic? And are they sustainable? It's all these things that you can really learn about through the subject of home economics. So for example, how much food do you throw out? How much food do you consume? And how can you prevent food waste? Ultimately, Cancer, home economics, it is a subject that can teach you how to grow from a teen and into an adult, where you learn how to be responsible and where you learn how to become aware of how to take care of yourself. A couple of things to learn here, Cancer, is that, well, there is a tendency of you not knowing how to just let things go, especially if you ever feel like you're being attacked by others. You might just blindly lash out, for example. So maybe home economics can be used as a way to teach you about what foods make you feel good, make you feel calm, which foods can bring you back to center, but also which foods you can take in order to really help with your own emotions, in order to help with your own moods. Basically, Cancer, you are learning to really reflect upon the information from the immediate environment that you're picking up. So for example, from your classmates, so reflecting on that information, learning to remain actually more thoughtful and mindful rather than reacting straight away. You just react to other people's moods or towards what they're saying. So learning to just be a bit more mindful of that reaction, but also giving your time, or giving yourself time to get away for a bit, or time to have some space on your own, you know, so to be by the water or to do some exercise so you can get into your physical body, which also, by getting into your physical body, it will allow for your emotional body to be activated as well, where you can release a lot of that emotional energy that you may build up. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the Cancer student. Now, if you happen to have your Mercury in Cancer or Cancer ruling your 3rd house, then I would like to know what you thought of the video in the comment section, because it would be good to know sort of your own, you know, your own thoughts. So what did you think, and does it resonate with you, and what could you maybe add as well? So with all that being said then, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will be back with another video very, very soon.